Okay, now
Yes.
processing of nutrients by the liver. This is the part from where we need to start. I hope you have your notebook with you.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, cool. Now, which nutrients we are talking about here?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, see what I told you, that liver is connected to which system? Digestive system, right?
Right.
So from digestive system or from the alimentary canal, which nutrients might be coming?
Just anything we eat, right, sir? Like
Right, so glucose, lipids, fats, proteins, right? These things are coming. Okay,
yes.
so what liver has to do is it has to make sure that the body takes care of these nutrients at the optimum level. Okay, clear? So the liver intercepts blood from the gut to regulate the nutrient levels. Okay, and among all the nutrients, liver majorly takes care of your glucose. Okay. So
Okay.
one of the main function of liver is to regulate the quantity of nutrients circulating in the blood. Okay, so if it is less, if the amount of nutrient that is coming is less, then what liver will do? It will convert the stored nutrients into their active form and it will deliver it into the blood. But
Okay.
if the nutrients are coming in excess, then what happens?
Then it will store more. Like it will.
Stored, right? Okay, so then it will be reserved. So
Will it?
liver yes, dear.
Can it also like potentially increase the like, excretion? Or does that?
Excretion.
Yeah, like
Excretion. Here,
if the
this understand one thing, that excretion is because of the amount of metabolic waste that we produce, right?
right.
Okay, and how metabolic waste is generated? The more actively your body is working, right? The more metabolically high your body is performing, the more metabolic waste will be produced by the body, right?
Right.
So it's not just the liver, right? Whatever liver is doing, that also will generate some waste, but all the other parts of the body also, muscles, other tissues, your heart, brain, all of them produce certain waste, right? That
Right.
eventually lead to excretion. Okay, so
Okay.
here in this case, what is happening? Let's say this is your small intestine and this is your liver, and we learned that there is a connection between the two, right? So
Right.
from small intestine, what happens is glucose is sent to your liver. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Now, if the amount of glucose in the blood is already sufficient enough, what will happen? This glucose will be converted into glycogen. It is
Okay.
converted into glycogen. And what is glycogen? It is the reserved form.
Right.
Why we are converting this? Can we directly store glucose?
No, sir.
Why?
Because it's unstable.
Yeah, it's actually we can store them, but what will happen? It will occupy more space.
Okay.
Okay. What happens is when you link number of glucose molecules together, condensation reaction will take place and it will give out
Water.
water, right? Okay, so all the molecules that are coming out, it will create more space, right? So within a small space, we can store more and more glucose basically, right?
Okay.
That's why it is stored in the form of glycogen instead of glucose.
Okay.
Now, in case if in your blood glucose levels are low, then what happens? The glycogen is converted back to
Glucose.
glucose. So that glucose can provide energy to the cells. Any doubt?
No, sir. No doubts.
Okay, so liver regulates glucose level by either storing glucose in the form of glycogen or breaking glycogen down to glucose, right? So once they store glucose, it is stored in which form? Glycogen. And whenever the body needs that energy, then glycogen is converted back to glucose. Okay, clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Now coming to other nutrients. Now excess quantities of proteins or amino acids in the diet are broken down in the liver to be utilized as energy sources, right? See, we always say that the source of energy is glucose and all, right? Okay, but it's not like that. All the three things, right? Whether it is glucose, whether it is protein or it is fat, all of them can be used as a respiratory substrate in order to generate energy, right? But the preferred molecule is
Glucose.
glucose, right? So the body prefers glucose first, and after glucose, the body prefers fat, and lastly, they prefer protein. Okay, so let's say if you go on a diet, right, and you are not eating food for many days. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
from today onwards, you stop eating anything. So what will happen? Your body will first utilize which molecule?
Glucose
Glucose. From where? You are not eating, right? So from where glucose will come?
from the glycogen store.
From the glycogen, right? So that glycogen will be converted into glucose. So glucose will be consumed first. Now, if you are done with glycogen, means all the glycogen reserved is over, then the body will start using
The lipids.
the lipids. The fat will be used then. Okay. Now, once the body is done with fat, then lastly, what will happen? The body will use protein.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
first you will lose the glucose, then you will lose fat from your body, and then finally you will lose muscles from the body. Okay, and
Okay.
then what you will lose? After muscle loss, what else you will lose?
Nothing. Then you just starve and die.
You die. So you will lose your life, right?
Right.
Okay. So if excess protein or amino acid is there, then again they will create nitrogenous waste. What is nitrogenous waste?
Like urine. So urea.
Okay, ammonia. What is the nitrogenous waste?
Ammonia.
Ammonia, but ammonia cannot be removed from the body as it is. Okay, because removal of ammonia requires a large amount of water. Okay, so terrestrial organisms like human beings, we cannot afford that much amount of water to be removed from the body. So what we do is, in the case of human beings, ammonia is converted to urea. Okay,
Okay.
ammonia is converted to urea, and then that urea is removed through urine. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And where this conversion of ammonia to urea takes place?
Is it not in the liver? In the kidney?
It is in the liver.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Okay.
From liver, then it is through blood, it is transported to your kidneys.
Okay.
Then lastly, the liver is also responsible for managing circulating lipids. Okay. So
Okay.
whatever extra cholesterol we are having, right, that cholesterol is converted into bile salts, but up to a extent only, right? You must have heard of conditions called fatty lipids. Oh, sorry, fatty liver, right?
Right.
So in some people, what happens is they have a lot of fatty diet or oil-rich diet,
Right.
right? So slowly and slowly, whatever their liver can convert, it converts. Other things gets accumulated in the liver cells. Okay,
Okay.
so livers become fatty and fatty. Now there are two types of fatty liver. One is non-alcoholic fatty liver, and other is alcoholic fatty liver. Means one is obviously because of the consumption of alcohol, and other is because of consumption of oily food or junk food, right? Or poor metabolism also you can say. Sometimes you might not eat that unhealthy, but your metabolism is too weak to convert any excess fat in your body.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Sorry. So please write it down.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done.
Yeah.
Cool. So storage of nutrients in the liver, we have discussed just now that glucose is stored in which form?
Glycogen.
Glycogen. Okay, but what about other things, right? So excess, these nutrients are converted into many other different forms, right? Some are converted into different vitamins. Okay, so excess nutrients like glucose, fatty acid, iron. Okay, retinol. Retinol is a chemical which is also called vitamin A. Okay, then calciferol, which is vitamin D. They are stored in the liver when in excess, and they are released when there is a deficiency in the blood. Okay, clear? Now, all these chemicals also, some of these chemicals can be synthesized in the body, okay, while some of these chemicals cannot be synthesized, right? Like vitamin A and vitamin D. This is something which your body can produce, can synthesize on your own, okay? But there are some vitamins which cannot be synthesized. So those you need to take directly from your food, okay? So
Okay.
here we have a flow chart just to understand how it is regulated, right? So here we are taking example of blood sugar. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with this case. High blood sugar is there. Means high blood sugar, what does it mean? It means in the blood there is a higher concentration of what?
Sorry, sir, I'm like confused. Sorry, what's the question, sir?
My question is, when we say it's high blood sugar, right?
Yeah,
Right. So what does it mean?
it means there's high concentration of glucose in the blood.
Right. Okay. So it means that high concentration of glucose is there in the blood. So when the blood glucose level goes up, the pancreas they secrete an enzyme called insulin. Okay. Pancreas will secrete which enzyme? Insulin. Okay. Now insulin is a hormone. So did I said enzyme?
I don't think so. I heard hormones. I think you said hormone.
If I said enzyme by mistake, I'm sorry. So if sorry, this insulin hormone, what it does, it stimulates the body cells to take up the glucose molecule. So these tissue cells, what they will do, they will absorb, or you can say they will take in glucose from the blood. Okay. Now,
Okay.
once they will start absorbing or start taking in glucose inside, what will happen? The blood glucose level will now decrease, or basically it is normalized, right?
Right.
Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir, no doubts.
Cool. Now, once these glucose molecules are there, right? Okay, so what else will be there? These glucose which is absorbed, that glucose will be converted into glycogen to be stored in the reserved form. Okay. Now, on the other hand, let's say if there is a decrease in the blood sugar level. So, in the case of decreased blood sugar level, another hormone called glucagon is released. Okay, again by which gland? By pancreas, right? So
Right.
low blood sugar level also promotes your pancreas to secrete glucagon. Now this glucagon will stimulate the liver to convert glycogen into glucose. So that glucose will be released in the blood sugar, sorry, in the blood, okay, to increase the blood sugar level. So in short, what you need to remember, what glucagon does, they increase blood sugar level, okay?
Okay.
And insulin, what they do is they decrease blood sugar level, right?
Right.
How glucagon increase blood sugar level? By converting glycogen into
Glucose.
glucose, right? And how insulin decreases this? By converting glucose into glycogen. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir, no doubts.
And similar feedback mechanism is done for all the other nutrients as well, right? For your vitamins, for your minerals, for your fats. Okay,
Okay.
please write it down.
Yes, sir, I wrote it down while you were speaking.
Okay, cool. Now, recycling of red blood cells. As I mentioned, that what happens with old RBCs?
They're like they're digested by the lysosomes and then taken
Mhm.
by
This
um
is what you answered me 2 slides ago also. So I
and then
corrected you.
by the
Old
spleen.
RBCs are destroyed in the spleen,
Spleen.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So after the destruction by the spleen, the components they come to liver, and in the liver they are again recycled, right? Okay. So see the components of RBC red blood cells are recycled by the liver. So liver is involved in the breakdown of RBCs and hemoglobin. Now after the breakdown, most of the products are recycled. Recycle means now they can be again used by the body, while some of the components are removed from the body through excretion. Okay, clear? Now, these old RBCs or the damaged RBCs, they are destroyed by which cells in the liver? I told you some liver cells, Kupffer cells are there, right? So
Right.
Kupffer cells undergo phagocytosis of your RBCs, right? So once these RBCs are broken down, what is released out? Hemoglobin. Okay. Now hemoglobin is made up of two things. One is heme group. Heme group is the group that contains iron. Okay. And the other is a protein that is called globin protein. Which protein?
Lubin.
Globin protein, right? So these two things are separated. So hemoglobin molecule is split into globin chain and a heme group. Now, the amino acids from the globin chain are recycled, means they are again ready to be used. While heme group is further broken down into iron and bilirubin. Okay, bilirubin is again a pigment. Which type of pigment? Yellow pigment. When the concentration of bilirubin is high in the body, your body may appear yellow in color.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what Kupffer cells do is they release bilirubin to the blood, and then this blood goes to your kidney, where through excretion it can be removed out. Okay. And what about the iron? The iron is transported to the liver and spleen for storage. Why they are stored? So that whenever we are producing new RBC, then this iron can be again used. Okay. And where does production of red blood cells takes place? Where does production of red blood cells takes place here?
In the bone marrow, I think.
In the bone marrow. Remember, all the blood cells, whether it is white blood, red blood, or platelets also, right? All the
Right.
blood cells are made in bone marrow. Okay.
Okay.
So this iron is transported to your liver or spleen for storage, or it can be directly sent to your bone marrow for the synthesis of new red blood cells. Clear? Any